think of it as sludge, just sludgy bile. And they start to get symptoms. Now, the kinds of symptoms that you will see is any gallbladder problem, but symptoms you might not know are if you have a headache on the right side of your head, especially by the right eye, almost any headache on the right side of your head, stabbing pain between your shoulder blades, right hip pain, pain around the middle of your abdomen, especially on the right. That's also a very much gallbladdery kind of issue. But one of the most common operations are gallbladders, because that's the first thing that goes, because one of the first things that happens is the blood wants to be acidic, and it balances itself from the bile. Now, if you don't deal with this and you don't stay alkaline, and your body starts to pull all the stuff out of your bile, then it has to go to other places to get minerals. That's when it starts going to muscles and bones and things like that. So over a period of time, you're going to start to get osteoporosis and things like that, being too acidic. So, but now from the standpoint of any other kind of health, acidity will equal inflammation. Inflammation equals pain, but it also equals weight. It equals anything non-optimal. It slows the system down. Health is really a matter of moving things through. That can be moved through, can be better. Like if something comes in and goes out, you're okay. It's when things are coming in and getting stuck circulation, stuck nervous system, stuck inflammation becomes swelling and bloating and things like that. So getting somebody's pH in balance is really important. People say, how do you... Now, the diet, the green diet, is a really good alkaline diet. For these people, the first thing I would start to do is I start giving them the minerals. Now, there are other things. There could be underlying factors, parasites, fungus, candida, this or that, but getting the minerals up makes all those other formulas work. And so pH, one of the first things I always do with people is get their pH. I have them measure their pH in the morning, and I want the pH to be between 6.8 and 7.2. I like 7.0 to 7.2. Now, if you start Googling what's a good pH, you're going to see 6.4 to 6.6. And the problem is, I just don't see people feeling great at 6.4 to 6.6. I see people feeling a lot better at like 6.8 or 7.0, 7.2. That's where people start to say, well, I got more energy, I feel better, more energy, better metabolism, and that could also help with weight gain or weight loss. So, pH is a major factor, and it's going to make, if you're even going to, we're going to look for other things after that, like pathogens, bacteria, funguses, candida, but it's going to be very difficult to kill those things if the pH isn't high enough. So pH is like the first thing that I push on everybody. Now, the second thing I'm going to talk about here is thyroid. Now, it's a pretty well-known subject, thyroid, but there's several things to know about it. Number one, everybody knows that thyroid has to do with metabolism, but one of the biggest, hardest things to explain to people is that their medical thyroid test only shows you a small area of what could be up or wrong with the thyroid. So people come in all the time saying, oh yeah, my thyroid's fine, I had it checked. And it doesn't really mean a lot. If it's off, that tells me, wow, it's really off. But if it's on, it could, if it looks like it's in range, it could still be quite off. Now, as far as trying to help a thyroid, there are three aspects of it that I like to look at. One aspect of thyroid is just the thyroid not having enough thyroid food. And the food that feeds the thyroid is iodine. Your thyroid turns iodine into thyroid hormone. But the interesting thing is, it cannot do that unless it has minerals. So there's your pH aspect. Now, people don't take enough iodine. And the problem is, if you start Googling how much iodine to take, there's a lot of misinformation on the internet saying how, don't take too much iodine, be worried about taking too much iodine. But, back before they had iodine drugs, people took high-dose iodine. That's how they helped thyroid issues.